Ladies and gentlemen, Alex here with Reflective Video Journal number 4. I'll be talking about science's role in addressing global warming and about the traditional scientific process, the traditional scientific template used to observe and report on global warming. I'll be talking about how science isn't the main driver of social change about the topic, and I'll be talking about how I personally don't really produce that much emissions to affect global warming. So, we're going to be reflecting on the role of science in addressing global warming. So, the traditional scientific process to observe, question, hypothesize, predict, test, again, draw and conclude, and record and communicate. So, very basic but very effective ongoing way to record science and use it to our benefit to make positive changes. Because I'm an optimist, I don't believe in using science for evil at all. So, observing global warming, it's there's weather stations all around. How they use fancy tools. They use a barometer for air pressure, a rain gauge to measure how much rainfall happens every year, a wind vane to determine the direction of wind, and an anemometer, which is to measure the wind speed. So to introduce that wind. Very important because heat waves and cold pressure zones are quite aggressively man-made in most instances, not just all nature. So science's role in that. We've got to question how the Earth is getting warmed, why it's getting warmed, what is essentially the effects of global warming, how we as human beings are affecting climate change, and what global warming is going to do in the future, how it affects sea levels. Very basic questions, but you can get deeper into it and asking how many species are going to be on planet Earth if we continue going the way we're going. That's science's role to question and come up with new questions, and then from those questions draft hypotheses to predict which will need answering. So if we keep going the way we're going, will X, Y, and Z happen in the future? Will we lose species? Will sea levels rise? Will we effectively warm the planet, leading to less water and less animals, and essentially affecting humans to the point where we dry up to a crusty ball and explode, essentially. We need to predict what happens. With global warming, scientists are obviously not just testing global warming itself, but how temperatures affect humans, crops, and the whole planet in general. And we test our predictions. Now, the problem with the testing section of it is, unfortunately, unless we make a miniature planet, we can't really test it. We can't really test whether global warming is going to, like I say, blow up the planet and dry us out and kill all livestock, raise sea levels, cause more natural disasters. We can only observe it. There's no actual way to simulate it unless we make a miniature planet. We can test different environments. We can simulate different environments and see what happens. But unless we have an entire planet that's been simulated, we can't actually test the effects on the entire planet that we will have. We can only take samples from different, how it affects different environments, because we can simulate environments, which isn't as accurate as a whole planet situation. So from that, we draw and conclude. Well, we already know that we need to change because the graphs are quite tense there. Temperatures are rising to 5 to 10 times more than what they were 200-300 years ago, which is quite alarming, and essentially record and communicate. So tell the general public about it, record what science finds with it, and proceed to do more science with the recorded results. But I think communication is the biggest one there. Sharing what we find and how detrimental it is that there is a change made. That's part one, guys. I'm going to make another video for part two.